In our KSAT Q&A, we're going to talk to a man who is being targeted by a Republican governor, even though he's a Republican incumbent. And he's not the only one. Steve Allison is our guest from District 121 in the Alamo Heights area. Mr. Allison, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You have been targeted by the governor, and I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that it's a Republican governor targeting a Republican incumbent. Why?
I'm trying to wrap my hands around it as well, because I've been with the governor on every single issue, every single request he's made since I've been in the legislature, 100% of the time. Whether it's been the border, on appropriations, I approved every request he made. I voted for him. Every request he's submitted to the legislature, I voted for and supported him, except this one issue. I think an ill-conceived private school voucher portion of a bill, I just can't get there.
So this one issue.
Just over that one issue.
Yeah. And he said, the governor said, those that vote against this, he would target in the election. So it seems like he's making good on that. Why do you not support school vouchers?
I think, it's couched in the term of parental choice or school choice. And I think that's very misleading because we have ample choice opportunities within the public school system. Here in particular, we've got charter schools. We've got a charter system as part of the public school system. We have a magnet program that is just exceptional in our schools. We have STEM programs. We have non-disciplinary alternative programs that are more workforce development to develop a trade or a skill. And the cost is just phenomenal for this short number of students that will be served. $500 million in the first year to increase quickly to $2 billion. And then projections are by year 5, it'd be $4 to $5 billion that would be much better spent in public education. We know we have some needs. We're number 43 in the nation on school funding. That money would be much better spent in our public school system that serves so many kids. We've got 5.5 million students in the public school system that we have an obligation to, plus the immigrants that are coming in that we have an obligation under the U.S. Supreme Court decision that we have to educate them as well.
Right, that's not a choice. There's not a choice in there.
There's no choice whatsoever.
I'm curious, you're in the Alamo Heights area. The Alamo Heights School District, usually one of the best in the state. Does that factor into it as well? Do you think school vouchers would hurt the Alamo Heights School
Absolutely.
District?
That's going to hurt every school district in the state. The rural districts are going to be impacted more severely, but I think every school district in the state, Alamo Heights is projected, if they lost just 1%, they'd lose $400,000 a year. And that even Alamo Heights is already in a deficit situation because we didn't do anything this session for our schools. So absolutely, every school district is going to be impacted. And just there's an accountability and a transparency issue. Private schools aren't required to have certified teachers. They don't have the testing requirements. They choose who their students are. So it's the student choice or parental choice is a little bit of a misnomer because when we're talking about private schools, it's the private schools that make the decision who they accept. Unlike the public schools, where we have to take everybody.
Yeah.
Alamo Heights ISD is what's called a recapture district. A lot of the property taxes that go into that district end up going back to the state to be redistributed. So on the issue of property taxes, Alamo Heights not the only one dealing with really high rates, but certainly an area known for that.
Yes.
What do you want to do to try to combat that?
Well, we did quite a bit this last session. We finally passed a property tax bill that included some school district compression. The House wanted to do a little more compression that would be broader based, do more for our schools and our school patrons, bring down the rate and the tax burden, but also provide more relief for our businesses. We didn't do that. I think we need to look at that when we go back. But that helped the school districts quite a bit. There was a hold harmless provision that the school district would still be paid by the state for the money that they would have lost or did lose through that compression, which is important. And I think, again, we're number 43 in the nation. That's one thing we need to shore up, in my opinion, that we need to put more state money into public education and less burden on the local taxpayers.
What's your biggest difference between the governor has endorsed Mark LaHood? He's considered your most formidable opponent. We've seen him on the airwaves with the help of the governor.
Yes.
What's your biggest difference with him? Like, what sets you apart?
Well, it's huge. Background, qualifications, experience, and a demonstrated record of achievement. He has none of that. And that's troubling. You don't just jump into the legislature from ground zero. You've got to do something in the community. You've got to do some service and show some qualifications to deal with these different issues. Let's use choice or vouchers as an example. We're going to resolve that one way or the other. But then we've got a myriad of other issues to deal with. Infrastructure needs, property tax still needs to be addressed. The border continues to be an issue. Transportation's an issue. Healthcare's an issue. You need someone with a broad-based background and experience in those areas to deal with them. That's a striking difference between me and my opponent.
And the border is an issue in the ads against you that your opponent's been running, and you talked about how you voted with the governor on that issue in the past. What do you think needs to be done right now to deal with the current crisis?
I think we're headed in the right direction, and that's why I said I've supported the governor on his requests. I've been down to the border 3 times, most recently a month and a half, 2 months ago, and I made a point of talking to the guardsmen that are on the ground to get their input and reaction to what we're doing or not doing. I asked them specifically about the wall. Is that the right approach? The money we're putting into border security, the wiring and all. And they said, absolutely. The more you can do, the better. Anything to discourage, detain, is going to be very, very helpful, and they're fully supportive. And I think that's what we need to continue to be doing, particularly on the illegal entry. There's in Eagle Pass, for example, there's 2 bridges. Those are the legal entry points where if people come in, they're going to be processed just like, all of our relatives. We're all immigrants. But I think we did it the right way. And the troubling part is the ones that don't do that and come across the river illegally. I know a lot of that's cartel activity and cartel driven. But for their own safety, plus to protect our border and our security, we need to stop that illegal entry.
This is your 4th term. You're running for your 4th term.
Yes.
How do you feel going into March 5th?
I feel good. I think our background, I think I've proven myself in the legislature, been fortunate to bring a lot of things back to the district and back to San Antonio that I think people recognize. And I think they recognize my background in education and what service I've done in the community for 30, 40 years. I think that's vitally important.
So if you win March 5th, then you get to take on the Democratic opponent and start all over again. So yeah.
It's a great deal.
I think we can safely say the governor will not be endorsing one of the Democrats in this race.
Well, I wonder.
Representative Allison, always appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed being here.
Want to remind people, early voting is underway right now. It runs for a couple of more weeks. And then, of course, March 5th is Election Day.
Thank you for watching KSAT. If you're on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest San Antonio news and weather.